If you are someone who is excited about 2026 and you are excited to start losing weight or gaining muscle depending on your goal, but you have no clue where to start when it comes to how many calories you should be consuming each day based off of your goals, then you're gonna wanna watch this video, because by the end of this video, I'm gonna show you how exactly I created my meal plan based off of my goals, and you will be able to do the same depending on what your goal is for 2026. So let's get into it. So we are back at the whiteboard, and I'm going to show you, I don't know if you guys could actually even see this, so I will do my best to explain it. But when it comes to your goal for 2026, whether you want to gain muscle, lose fat, or even just maintain but change body composition, what it's going to come down to is your daily calorie intake, and then how many calories you are burning throughout the day based on your steps, based on your activity, based on your working out, your cardio, all of that. So I'm going to explain to you exactly how I do it, and then hopefully by the end of this video, you will be able to see how to create your own meal plan based off of your goals. So first thing you got to do is you got to find a website to figure out how many calories you need to consume to either lose weight or gain muscle, and what your maintenance calories is. So that's our starting point. So the one that I've been using for a very long time, and it's my favorite one when it comes to calculating how many calories you should be consuming, I'll put the link in the description and show you, and I will pull it up for you guys right now. So what it looks like is the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna enter, which I already entered it. I put that I am 5'12". That is not a true statement. I am currently 5'11", we'll say. And then I'm gonna put that I'm 220 pounds, so you're obviously just gonna enter any of your information. I'm 35 years old, I'm a man. Body fat percentage, I'm not gonna put that in. I do know my body fat based on the scale that I use, so it would be a little bit more accurate if you do have a body fat percentage available to you. I think I'm at 15 or 16 last time I checked. Current activity level, this is where you kind of want to be generous. So I consider myself someone who's very active, but the first two, whatever it gives you, you're going to test it out for 2 weeks and track your progress. If you gain weight, then you'll have to make an adjustment. If you lose weight, then you might just maintain it or keep this. Because again, humans are different. This is a form of measuring. So you use this, but then you adjust accordingly. So I'm gonna go with moderate. I probably could get away with going high because I do train 5 to 6 times a week, but I'm a teacher. So I'm not that active outside of actually in the gym. It's not like I do construction or I'm like, I don't know, walking around a building all day. Like I'm pretty much walking within a 10-foot radius all day. So I'm gonna go with moderate. Again, do it based off of your goals or your activity. Protein approach, I always choose high, even if whether I'm gaining or losing or fat, it doesn't matter, I always choose high. I like to choose for carb approach, you can go low, moderate, high, or cycle. Again, depending on you. If you are someone who does not like carbs and you wanna have a higher fat, then I would go low carb because it's gonna calculate that you could have more fat. I like to cycle, which again, that's based off of my goals. So I'll show you why I choose that. So I choose cycle, it populates your results. Again, this is my starting point. So my maintenance, 3,030 calories. Obviously I chose did I choose maintain? I did choose maintain. So so if I wanted to lose, say I choose lose. Again, what I like about this is you can choose challenge fat loss, recomposition, lean muscle gains, challenge muscle gain. I'm gonna do challenge fat loss just for the sake of it. You will now see my maintenance is still 3,030 calories, but my target now is 2,273 calories. My protein is 220. My day one, which is my high carb day, is 256 grams. And my day one fat is 41 grams of fat. That I will use based on my training days. So on the days that I am training, those are the macros I'm gonna use. On the days I'm not training, so right now my current schedule is Monday and Friday off. On the days I'm not training, I'm still gonna have 220 grams of protein, but I'm gonna have 114 grams of carbs, and my fats are gonna be a little bit higher. That is why I like choosing this cycle, because you can basically put the carbs based on your activity level. If you're only working out 3 days a week, maybe you only need 3 high carb days and the rest will be high fat. Again, it's all your preference. But now that you have this, and like I said, what I like about this, if I wanted to show you guys what it looks like if I'm trying to gain muscle, lean muscle gain. Well, now you can see that my calories per day is 3,333 calories. So let's jump into actually the number part. All right, so now that you have your actual daily calorie intake, what I like to do, I don't really actually care about the daily number, again, because you are looking at your calories based on the entire week. So what I plugged in here is, again, based off of whether you want to lose. If you want to lose fat, so fat loss, this is what my weekly calories would have to be, 15,911 calories. So if I want to maintain, I'm able to consume 21,210 calories a week. If I, based on that number from the website, which again, you want to gauge it because say at the end of the first week or after 2 weeks, I consumed this many calories a week for 2 weeks straight and I gained weight, well then I know that that is not my maintenance and I need to lower it a little bit. If I maintained weight, that's my maintenance. If I lost weight based on my maintenance number, which I got from the website, then that's not accurate. So again, you could do it one of two ways. You could create your own meal plan, run it for 2 weeks. If you lose weight, then you know it's not your maintenance. If you maintain that, that's your maintenance calories, whatever that is. If you gain weight, then it's not. I just like to use this as a starting period or a starting point. If I want to gain weight, then I need to consume 23,331 calories per week. So what I did is I plugged it in based on a week, so Sunday all the way to Saturday. Now my protein has to be 220 every single day no matter what. So 220 grams of protein already filled in. My carbs are what's gonna switch. So you could see on Friday, 114 and Monday 114 because those are my rest days, Monday and Friday. Again, based on your rest days, you could change it. Every other day, my training days, I have 256 carbs. And then for my fats on my training days, I only have 41 grams of carbs, you can see. And then on my rest days, I have higher fat. I am a fan of carb cycling because it switches up your meals. So you can have a meal plan that you use for your high carb day. So you could have certain meals that you eat on that day based on higher carbs. So more rice, more potatoes, more grain or more granola, whatever you want, and you can have that 4 times a week. But then if you're someone like me that also likes like peanut butter and avocado and almonds, I get those twice a week. So it's kind of a way to break up the routine and have some excitement. Like tomorrow, I know I'm gonna be able to eat some almonds, a little bit more cheese, some avocado, and that's a little bit exciting for me. If you wanna just do one meal plan for 7 days a week because it's easier for you, then do it that way. I like it this way. And then the calories obviously are gonna be the same, 2,300 calories for the fat loss, and it will go all the way down to here. Or I'm sorry, the maintenance, which was 3,000 calories. The reason why I feel like this number is a lot more important than the actual daily number is because, for instance, we just got through the holidays. The holidays, you're gonna be around family, you're gonna wanna celebrate. You don't wanna be that person that shows up with chicken and broccoli to Christmas dinner. So Christmas was on a Thursday. So the way I did it is I know that if I consume this many calories a week, I'm gonna lose fat, right? Well, say on Christmas, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna eat that much in the morning, but I wanna save all my calories for night. I wanna have 2 plates and maybe some dessert. I'm gonna say I wanna consume about 3,500 calories. Probably won't eat that much, but well, you might actually if you're me. So 3,500, say on Christmas Eve, you're not gonna go crazy, but you may have a regular plate and then maybe some dessert. So instead of consuming the 2,300 calories to be in a fat loss, say you consume an extra like 500, so 2,800. As long as I hit this number a week, I will lose weight. So what I do is I plug that number, 15,911, into my handy dandy calculator. I'm gonna minus 3,500, and I'm gonna minus 2,800. It gives me 9,611 calories that I can mess around with for the rest of the week. If you want to keep it simple and stick to a meal plan for that week, you divide that number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5 because it's the other number, the rest, and now you can consume 1,922 calories per day And you will be able to enjoy Christmas Eve and Christmas and still hit your fat loss goal. That is why I'm a firm believer that you need to know your weekly calorie intake and go off of there. So I'm sitting here editing the nutrition plan and I totally forgot to explain how I track all my macros. So that you could use any app out there. There's a lot of apps out there. The very first app that I ever used to track, again, my daily calories and my macros for the day was MyFitnessPal. Great app. A lot of people use it. I know there's a free version and a paid version. I used that probably 10 years ago, so I'm not too familiar with it, and I never used the paid version, so I can't speak on that. I've used First Form before. I used to be with them. Great app. You do pay for that one. The one I currently use, which I will put on the screen so you guys can see it, I really like this one. I do pay for it. I'm not a part of them. I get nothing from them, but I do like it, however. So let me pull that up for you guys real quick. All right, it is up. So this is how the dashboard looks. I like it because you can link it with like your watch. You can link it with a scale, so your daily, like you could see habits, food logging, expenditure, scale. It's very detailed, and then it shows obviously what you did. But when you go to food log, if you go to, like I planned out mine for the week, basically Monday through Friday, so you can see at the top it says the calories, the protein, the fats, the carbs, and then I like where you can put the actual times that you're eating them. I think that's pretty cool. And then you can see each meal, like my 6 a.m. meal, 350 calories, 36 grams of protein, 9 grams of fat, 31 grams of carbs. And then you can see throughout the whole entire day. I like this one, like I said, visually. You know, if you guys know, if you've been on my channel, I like stuff visually. Visually, I think it's a really good app. And then I've also noticed that anytime I scan a food, or for instance, plug in a food, the calories, like it has it. Some of the apps I've used before, if I plug in like a carb powder or something, like they don't have it, so I have to do it manually. I'm just a little bit lazy, but again, that's the app I use. But again, I pay for that. If you're just looking for a free app, then go ahead and get my MyFitnessPal. I think that one's free. But back to the video. This meal plan alone will allow you to lose weight, or again, whatever your goal is. If it's lose weight, if it's maintain, or gain muscle, once you know your weekly calories, which you get that from the link in the description, you know your daily macros, you get that in the link in the description, then you mess around with it. That is how I do it. You could do this same thought process if it comes to your training days. Like for instance, if you know Saturdays, like for me, I do a double session and it's a long day of training. You got a strength session, you got a long run, and then you got a conditioning piece in the afternoon. If I want to, I could put more calories on this day and then maybe take calories from my rest day. Again, as long as you hit that weekly number, you'll be good. Whatever that is. So find out your maintenance from the link in the description, plug in the weekly number, plug in the weekly number for fat loss, and plug in the weekly number for weight gain, and then figure it out accordingly. That is what I am currently doing for my 20 pounds in 20 weeks, which actually I think I might be switching it around, to be honest with you. I'll probably do a whole separate video for that, but I think I'm gonna do a whole separate video for that. But anyways, if you have any questions about meal planning, macros, how to set up your macros, if you want custom actual like one-on-one training where I do all of this for you, the link is in the description. If you're looking for, hey, you know what, this is great, but I don't have any workout programs, the link in the description for that. If you need some type of workout split, I also have a whole Google Sheets that tracks all this so that you can actually plug in your macros and it calculates it automatically of what you have left over basically in a Google Sheets. I'm a data guy. I like looking at pictures and data and Google Sheets and all that stuff, so I did all that. Anyways, if you guys have any questions about this, comment below. If you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you, please give it a thumbs up because that obviously helps the channel grow. And then like I said, if you guys want to support me even more, the link is in the description for a new community I built for basically fathers, husbands, like-minded gentlemen like myself who are just trying to improve all areas of their life. So comment below if you have any questions, any more questions about this. And then if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I do videos like this every single week. Mondays are all about motivation, and then Fridays are all videos like this, or just a day in the life of a husband, father, and special education teacher. And you guys already know the motto: stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, don't be average. I'll catch you guys in the next one.